quick comment. There's always was one question that always bothered me, and I could never get an answer to. During World War II, the Nazis called themselves the master race, and the Jews were, they considered, a subhuman race. Okay. My question is, if the Nazis were the master race, how can they explain being injured fatally or non-fatally by gunfire, bullets? Because I think of master race, superior race, like Superman, right? Because if the Jews were subhuman and the Nazis and the Germans were the master race, then wouldn't it follow that the master race could not be injured, bleed? I think of the Twilight Zone episode In His Image, where Dennis Hopper stars as a street side Führer in America. And the ghost from the past, who turns out to be Hitler, tells Peter Ballmer he is made out of steel. And then when I saw that episode, I connected the notion that, or the propaganda, that the Nazis convinced themselves as being a master race, while Jews were subhuman, as well as other groups of humans. So that made sense to me for that Twilight Zone episode to indicate that the Nazis and Hitler considers themselves to be made out of steel, bulletproof, cannot be injured, cannot get sick. And I would see movies like Winds of War and War Remembrance, and I would see Nazi figures being injured, being killed, being wounded, being sick. And every time I saw that, I thought, how can they explain that? I'm like, here's a Nazi with his eye blown out. If they're a master race, how could his eye get injured? How could his arm be bleeding? How could they lie on the floor or ground being killed by the Allies? When the bomb went off and injuring the Fuhrer's ears, nah, couldn't be. Why? They're the master race. That bomb went out, that bomb went up. And yeah, Hitler's life was spared at that moment, but his ears were affected. I said, nah, it's a lie. Couldn't be. They're the master race. So, if they're the master race, that bomb shouldn't have injured his ears shouldn't have hurt him. Other Nazi officials would not have died because they're the master race. So, that's my question. And no one has been able to answer that question. If Nazis were really the master race, like they talked themselves into believing, how could they explain away being injured or killed or getting sick? That doesn't seem consistent with being a member of the master race. And that is the lie the Nazis told themselves to believe about being the master race. So, it's a lie. Always was a lie. Nazis were not the master race. They believed in a lie. So anybody who believes they're superior to others is believing a lie, because we all get injured. We all bleed the same blood. It's still red. So, everybody is human. And everybody gets injured exactly the same way by the same means. Nazis can get sick. Nazis can be killed. Nazis can be injured. Nazis can be blinded. Nazis can be wounded. So they're not the master race they led themselves to believe. And that is my short thought for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And ask yourselves that question. Anytime you hear about Nazis declaring themselves the master race, ask them, how do you explain being wounded, getting sick, being injured, being killed, I remember this scene from War Remembrance, where at Auschwitz, one of the prisoners shot, 6 Nazis. And you had 6 coffins with the Nazi flag with the swastika draped over each casket like we do with the American flag. So he had 6, swastikas draped, flags draped over these coffins. I'm like, well, so much for being the master race. Hey, he actually killed them. I guess they ain't the master race. I guess they really aren't. So much for that idea. So anyway, that was my thought for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Okay. Take care. Bye.